Danny Alvarez with Behind the Gloves here with Nico Ali Walsh.
Yes, sir.
Saw you make a successful professional debut earlier in the year.
Yes.
Coming back on the Shakur Stevenson-Jamel Herring card later this month. How do you feel going into that second fight and a pretty big fight for the sport?
Super excited. I think that's going to be a great fight. The main event with Jamel Herring and Shakur Stevenson. I think that's going to be a great fight. It's an honor to be a part of that card. So yeah, definitely tune in. I'm very excited for the fight, and yeah, October 23rd is coming up.
What does it feel like to you to work with Hall of Fame promoter Bob Arum, right? Someone who worked with your grandfather in the past. You know, what does that mean to you?
It's amazing. It's sentimental to me because obviously he worked, I want to say, a majority of my grandfather's fights, 27 fights or so. So it's an honor, and it's just repeating history, and I really do believe that history repeats itself. So it's great.
How have you so far been able to just focus on yourself, right, and not trying to, you know, obviously you want to keep your grandfather's legacy alive,
yeah,
but living up to those expectations can be tough, nearly impossible, right, because of what your grandfather stood for. How can you, or how have you been able to manage and deal with that?
You know, I mean, the way I was raised with my parents, and you know, being raised with my grandfather, being around him all the time, it's not hard to stay down to earth, to stay humble. He comes from humble beginnings, as do I, and yeah, it's this legacy I'm looking to continue is boxing legacy, and it's a humanitarian legacy. My grandfather stood up for, you know, so much, and if I can accomplish 10% of that, then I'm doing great.
What is a memory that you have of him coming up? You know, whether it had to do with boxing or not at all. What is a fond memory that you carry of your grandfather?
Well, most of our memories were not boxing related, but I mean, we would watch a ton of horror movies together, and we went to the theater to see Peter Jackson's King Kong. I think it was back in 2007 or something like that. I was young.
Okay.
And we loved that movie. He loved that movie. And everyone in the theater started noticing him, so that was one of my fondest memories.
And lastly, we are here, just got done with the Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury 3 weigh-in. Prediction for tomorrow night?
I have nothing but the utmost respect for Wilder and Fury. I am Team Fury. I do believe that it won't be any different from the last fight, but I mean, this is what big-time boxing is all about. You know, these are the top heavyweights in the world. I think Deontay Wilder beats any other heavyweight except for Fury, and that's what it's all about. It's going to be a great fight.
Oh, I do want to ask, if you could make, as a fan, if you could make one fight in boxing happen, you know, that's not already scheduled, maybe been, you know, there's been talks in the past, but if you could make, as a fan, one fight in boxing happen, right, forget promotional issues, what would that fight be and why?
Ah, man, I mean, it's hard to say. This Canelo Plant fight is a great fight. I would say that if it wasn't already happening, and you know, I would say this Wilder Fury fight if it wasn't already happening. So it's really hard to say. I know everybody wanted to see Fury and Joshua fight, but I think this fight is going to be better than what that fight would have been. So it's hard to say. I don't know.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time. Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
23rd, correct?
23rd of October,
in Atlanta,
yes.
State Farm Arena. Get those tickets.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Nico Ali Walsh.
Hey Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking this icon right here and hit the bell button below so that you can receive an alert every time we upload a new video.